Hello, Brad. Hey guys, welcome to Mad Scientist BBQ. I'm Erica Yoder. Today we're going to be using this 1,000-gallon smoker. We brought it all the way to Texas. We're going to be cooking 25 racks of ribs with Leroy and Lewis. And if you want to win this smoker, you can click on the link in the description. You get a collectible coffee mug and you get automatically entered to win this thing. It helps out my channel. I'm partnering with a small veteran-owned business to make this happen. And some lucky winner is going to have their own 1,000-gallon smoker. So let's get into the video. Before the next train. Looks so good.
Oh my god. Oh no! Just like it got you in the...
Guys, we lost some of the footage from the beginning of this video and we just cannot find it. But this is Evan Leroy, owner and pitmaster of Leroy and Lewis, and he's walking me through the process on making these ribs. And these are actually going to be served with Leroy and Lewis, so it's a really cool opportunity to cook on this 1,000-gallon pit and cook food that's actually going to be served to paying customers, which is really exciting. So the rub that he's using is something that he whipped up in the kitchen. It's pretty simple: salt, pepper, garlic, and a few other spices. And then we're going to put them on the smoker, cook them with post oak, and glaze them with a bourbon glaze. And we're going to talk more about that later. All right, we're going to take these outside and put them on the smoker.
A nice pit.
Yeah, there you go. Jeremy, are you at all worried about your leather apron in the rain?
Not at all. Not at all.
I'm gonna take the plastic part off of this so it's not awkward on camera.
Okay, those ribs have been on for about 2 hours at this point, and we've been doing nothing other than letting them cook. We're keeping it pretty hot at about 300. Now it's going to be time to start spritzing. So what are we going to use?
This is a mixture of cider vinegar and white sugar.
Okay.
Kind of like what some bar programs would call a shrub. So we're essentially going to make this is not really a cocktail right now, but it's like technically bourbon and sugar and an acid, and that is like a couple components of a drink. Like we were using this earlier and kind of tasted it, and we're just like, it doesn't taste that bad. We're actually going to do real cocktail style here and use this like funny speed pour to apply this to the ribs because we don't have a spritzer handy. But we've got the straight bourbon whiskey. We've got about a gallon of our shrub here. I'm just going to go in with this still whiskey.
It's a very scientific pour process, I see.
Oh yeah.
It's the vortex.
You got to get the vortex. And it's kind of mixed up. We're just going to pour right back in. I had a friend one time in the restaurant industry tell me that a skill you have to have is to be very good at pouring things from one container into another container.
Is it so thick and viscous because of all the sugar, you think?
Yes.
Got it. Whoop! There you go. Not bad.
Not too bad.
That is not what I've done.
All right, let's go put this on some of the ribs.
Excellent. Whoa! Wow.
Yeah. Speed pour is cool.
Yeah, I like it.
I like that thing. These are looking good. We're going to keep rocking them. Once they get a little bit more color, bones pull back, then we'll flip them over. Probably give them a little bit more spritz at that time. We're definitely going to do more of this when we wrap them in foil when they're done.
One thing that we haven't really talked about is the style of fire management that you're using. I noticed that everybody kind of has their own style of fire management. What are you thinking about during this cook? And I know you're going to put some more logs on. What are you looking for and how do you like to set it up?
Specifically for these ribs, the way that we're cooking them with the glaze, it's really high in sugar, so I want a little bit of caramelization. That's why I'm aiming for a higher temperature right now, especially after we've kind of glazed them with that delicious booze, sugar, vinegar mixture. Now I'm kind of adjusting the fire. I readjusted the coal bed, put the most burned logs kind of in a direction to where the air will flow directly over them. I'm going to Lincoln log the other ones to kind of make air space for there to be plenty of oxygen to the fire. I'm just going to keep loading wood. This wood is wet too, so we have to kind of take that into consideration. We might park one log, and we've done that in the cook so far, just right here to kind of toast it, so that way when we need to adjust the fire and increase the temperature, we can just kind of put that thing on top. Really, I'm just trying to run a hot fire pretty clean I mean, we were talking earlier about how there's always a little bit of dirty smoke when you're every time you put a log on the fire, there's dirty smoke.
Yeah.
But that's good. That's where flavor comes from.
Yep.
So I'm just going to try to keep throwing a bunch of wood at it, keep the temperature up.
Sure. All right.
It doesn't have to be too scientific. That's it.
Yeah. So is this post oak?
This is post oak.
Post oak. The Pitmaster's real tool.
Yeah, that's it.
I've heard a lot of people talk about shoveling out coals as like part of the process. Is it in any way actually a part of the process, or just you need to get that out of there because you're cooking on a pit for hours and hours and hours and hours?
Depends. It is a way that you can manage the temperature of your fire. You can pull out coals from the coal bed because that's where a lot of your heat comes from. So we manage our fires differently at the food truck because we're running 2 pits. We're shoveling coals out so we can put them underneath a direct pit. So we do that for that reason, but not really any other reason. If we're not running the direct pit, we don't really shovel coals out until the end of the day.
Right. So don't waste the wood in a burn barrel. Let it cook the food in the offset, and then you harvest the coals for the direct heat cooker.
Exactly.
Got it. All right, so how often are we going to spritz?
I probably only want to spritz 1 or 2 times.
Okay.
Just a few times. Just apply a little bit of that. We know we're going to put some on when we are wrapping in foil, so maybe 1 other time beyond that.
All right, it's been about an hour and a half. So what are we doing at this stage, and why are we doing it?
What I'm thinking is that the ribs are going to have great color. They're going to be sweating a little bit of rendering fat. What I think is going to happen is we're going to flip them over and try to get some color on the bottom side. Okay. Then probably another hour or so, and they'll be basically done.
Okay, we're going to wrap at any point, or
we are going to wrap when they come off. So we're going to, when they come off, we'll do a little bit more of the whiskey mixture. Yep. And then we'll wrap them in foil and rest them, and we'll put them in the warmer at the commissary. That's it.
Okay, awesome. All right, let's get this open.
Oh, yeah.
Good, man. Dude, that looks great.
Yeah, see the bottom kind of a little pale.
Yep.
But we are having a little bit of bone recession. That's perfect.
Are you doing 100% by feel on everything you cook?
No, not necessarily. The burgers, I mean, we always temp the burgers. We do a lot of stuff by feel, though. That's just...
Like briskets, you're feeling the underside.
Yeah, to me, barbecue is just very much about feel. Come here, Bradley. Get under this thing.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, no. Just like it got you in the nose.
Dig that. All right, so it looks like about another hour, maybe 45 minutes. They're going to be done. We're going to pull them off, wrap them up while they go in the warmer, and again with that glaze, simple sugar, cider vinegar, and of course, still Austin bourbon whiskey.
Ribs should be done. They've been cruising for a few hours.
All right.
When do we put them on? 6?
6.
It's 10:30 now, so...
Okay, 4.5 hours.
4.5 hours. Let's do it. Let's take a peek.
All right. They were looking great last time we saw them.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
That's not bad. I think those have dried out, Evan.
Look at those beauties.
Looks so good.
Oh my gosh, dripping.
Yeah.
Look at that pulling away right there. Just enough bone recession.
You can just, yeah.
Oh!
Oh! Careful.
Yeah, I would say that's ready.
Yeah, that looks great. So what kind of orientation in the foil? You want meat side down?
Yeah, they're going to be meat side down in the foil. I'm going to kind of set all these right here. I've got 25 already counted out.
Man who's always prepared.
A little bit of the sauce down. A little bit right on top. If you're doing a bunch of ribs, you want to wrap them all the same way. That way, like, you know, you don't have some wrapped this way and then some wrapped kind of like this way first. That way, when you're unwrapping them, you unwrap them all the exact same way. All right, that's pretty much it.
And then 24 more times. 24
more times.
Evan, how does it feel to be cooking on 1,000 gallon again?
Feels good. I could get used to it.
Oh, all you have to do is you click on the link in the description and you can enter to win this very thing.
That'd be pretty sweet if I did win. If I entered
They'd be like, it's so rigged. They smell really good.
You did a great job, Evan.
Okay, these have been pulled off. They're wrapped up in foil and they've rested. So in there we have some of that glaze that we were using. It smells like $1,000,000. So can we please try them?
It's time. Get that beautiful color. Beautiful glaze.
Those look really good, man. It's funny that I came from Kentucky to Texas to cook bourbon glazed ribs.
Yeah, right.
It's so perfect.
I always cut bone side up.
Same.
My theory is you don't have to be a hero. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. You just gotta cut them. You know, we hardly ever cook ribs at the restaurant. We do bacon ribs.
Which I'm really excited about. I don't think I've ever had one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, you're going to love it.
Swipe that guy. Do.
You know, I think one of these two are usually my favorite ribs. Like
Yeah?
usually this one right here, it's got a lot of fat on it.
That looks like a winner.
Yeah, they're juicy.
Yeah. Smoke ring. Well, I noticed that there's only the smallest of small gray spots.
Yeah.
Right here. This is
Yeah.
all smoke
It's all
ring.
smoke ring. All right, let's jump in.
Okay.
Mmm.
Dude.
Sweet, porky. It's
Mine
good
has the
rib.
right level of seasoning. Just the glaze on the outside is the perfect complement to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so good. The acidity from the vinegar, you have smokiness, you have fatty pork that's been cooked. I mean,
good.
ah.
What a pork rib.
Brad, Joe, you should try this out.
That's a solid rib.
Not bad.
It's sweet, but it's not like a sweet rib. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got the savory.
Complementary sweetness.
Yeah, it's like a balanced rub where it's mostly savory, but it's got that sweetness to balance it out. A little bit of bourbon in there. You know, I like my bourbon.
Ours is perfect. It's like still there, but you can bite through it.
Right through it.
And, well, Brad said this was his favorite rib. He ate my favorite rib.
Oh. Wait for it. Wait
Look
for
at her
it.
go. She's.
This is, I like this one.
Ooh.
This is a good looking one.
Look how pink it is. Like,
I know.
Like the smoke penetration is
Look
insane.
look at, that's the one part that hasn't gotten a smoke ring. That little dot right there.
I'm saying like the cartilage right there,
Yep.
it's like, it's not white. It's not translucent, which overcooked. It's kind of starting to get to that
Mm-hmm. You're talking about
stage
this
right there.
guy.
Well, there's all of it. Even as big as that chunk is, it's not
Okay.
like bright white where it's not. You're not gonna be able to bite through it. You know, that's what
Gotcha.
I'm usually looking for when I'm looking for the tenderness in the rib.
It's a serious smoke ring and still a juicy rib.
Yeah, turns out that 1,000-gallon you're giving away produces some good stuff.
Yeah, and if you want to win that 1,000-gallon, click on the link in the description, check it out, and it can be yours. If you're anywhere close to me, I will hand deliver it to you.
I'm gonna kick 30 ribs at a
I'm
time.
I'm gonna join the competition because that's a good rib.
Brad,
I'm entering the competition.
oh man, Brad, if you win though, like I can never do any other giveaway ever again. They're gonna be like, it's totally rigged. Erica, come take a bite. I'll hold it. You take a bite.
It's a nice bite, Mark.
Yeah.
Look at that, clean off the bone. Well, I don't care about it. I'm gonna have another one.
This is great. I ate two.
Oh,
Evan, thank you so much for showing us how you do these ribs. You guys should definitely consider doing this at home. This is great. This is a recipe that I'm going to recreate. I'm 100% stealing this, and I would suggest that all you guys steal it too. Thanks, Joe, and thanks, Bradley Robinson, for taste testing these ribs with us. If you guys want to win that pit, click on the link in the description and enter to win. It's going to be hand-delivered by me if you're anywhere close to me. Thank you guys for watching. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Mad Scientist BBQ. You can follow Joe Yim at
Joe Yim on YouTube or Knocks Out Barbecue on Instagram.
You guys probably all know Chud's Barbecue on YouTube, on Instagram. And where can they follow you and Leroy and Lewis?
Leroy and Lewis is on YouTube and on Instagram, and I am on Instagram at Evan Leroy BBQ.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.
I dropped my rib.
No, sacrilege. No!
Second rule.
Ooh, these little guys on the end have like really great texture on the outside.
Crispier.
Crunchy.
Oh,
Bone in.
dude. That's pretty good.
Good ribs.
Yeah, man.
Kind of how I've always done ribs. Just keep it simple, simple rub.
Dude.
On them too. That was good.
It's got to be really
Good, right?
cooked.
Really good rib.
Man.
Woo!
You're going to have some happy customers tomorrow, man.